What's up, and welcome to the Sweet 16. 2 11 seeds, a 12 seed, even a 15 seed crashing this party. It is March Madness. We're breaking down the brackets, including our experts' upset specials. Thanks for hanging with us. You're watching FanDuel Sportsbook's More Ways to Win. And I'm Lisa Kerney. And of course, as always, I'm joined by these guys, our gambling experts, Dave Weaver, Andrew Filipponi, and Ed Egros. We'll, of course, get their best bets on the board there and Final Four value picks as well. That is ahead. So let's get your mind right now and set you up for success. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to place your bets. And new users, guys, check this out. Be sure to plug in that promo code MOREWAYS1000 to get your risk-free bet up to $1,000. And it gets better. FanDuel is giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. This is new and existing users that are eligible for this. So giddy up. All you have to do is make a bet on the tournament. It is that easy. You'll get an additional shot at the payout every single day you place a bet. FanDuel psyched for the Sweet 16. We know you are too. So let's get right to it and bet these games. Giddy up, you guys. Let's tip this thing off, and we're doing so with the top teams remaining in each region. We're starting here in the West. Gonzaga is the top seed in the tournament, and they're playing like it. 2 easy wins, check done. The Zags are taking on 5th-seeded Creighton here in the Sweet 16. Dave and Pony, this game has been the biggest spread in the Sweet 16. Gonzaga now giving 13.5 points. Dave, which side are you backing here?
It's the biggest spread, but this is actually the lowest spread for Gonzaga since way back in early February when they laid 11 against BYU. We're used to seeing the minus 30, minus 25. Well, Creighton's a good team. Remember, Pony, Creighton was a top 10 team preseason. They didn't have the year that a lot of people thought that they would have. But look, they're still dancing. I think 13.5 is too much. Zegarowski's going to keep them in this game with some threes. I'm going to think that Gonzaga wins, but Creighton covers.
Dave, am I smiling enough for you this morning? I didn't get your approval to start
Much
today's
better.
show. Do I have enough positivity
and
energy? Okay, my alma mater's still in this thing, and all my Final Four teams are intact. So let's go. You know, Creighton, for me, you mentioned Zegarowski. You need your best players to be at their best to give a team like Gonzaga a game, and he has been. Okay, he's averaging almost 19 points a game. He's shooting 50% from three. And here's the key to me in this game, Lisa. Gonzaga shoots an NCAA best 55% from the field. Creighton holds opponents to 41%. They were the best offensive team in the Big East. So I think that in a game like this makes all the difference. Gonzaga will advance, but the number's too big for me. I like the Blue Jays.
Okay, that's fair. Your research, well done, Pony. Let's get to the South region now for another 1-5 Sweet 16 matchup here. Baylor, the top seed here, coming off a 13-point win over Wisconsin. Then you got Villanova, who beat North Texas to advance there. Pony and Ed, you're up this time for this matchup. Baylor, a 6.5-point favorite here. Pony, how are you playing this one?
Well, dogs have been barking a lot, okay? I know you've got a nice dog at home, Lisa. That dog would fit right in this tournament because there have been so many upsets, as you touched on. Now, Baylor and Gonzaga seem head and shoulders better, but herein lies the truth about this game. You know, the coaching edge is going to be with Villanova, with Jay Wright, and we know that the team has adjusted since Gillespie went down with a knee injury. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, remember that name in this game, 20 points and 6 assists per game in the NCAA tournament. I think he's going to be the maestro for Villanova. They won't win, but I like them as an underdog to cover the 6.5.
Pony, I think you're getting real close in terms of what the real issue is. In terms of this entire tournament, but especially when it comes to this game, I think one of the bigger mistakes that I think prognosticators have made for this entire tournament is that they discount teams that suffer major injuries, and they discount them way too much. Michigan loses its second best player, and they cover against LSU. Villanova loses Gillespie. They had an effective field goal percentage of 68.8 against North Texas. This is where Jay Wright comes in terms of putting the pieces together, even without someone as dynamic as Gillespie. Offense is still elite. Jermaine Samuels has a box plus minus of greater than 7. That's amazing. You mentioned Robinson Earl. He's a beast down low and has an elite defensive rating. Wildcats are also number 1 in lowest offensive turnover percentage. They protect the basketball. They come in 11th in three-pointers attempted, and they have backup plans in case those threes are not falling. I'm with you. I think Nova covers.
All right, now from the south to the east, gentlemen, the top-seeded Michigan held off LSU to advance. They'll face fourth-seeded Florida State coming off that 18-point win over Colorado. And the Wolverines are giving just 3 points here. You know, I love a tight game here. Which side do you like in this matchup?
And Lisa, you're right. We're going to get a tight game in this one. Michigan's pace of play comes in 341st out of 353 teams in America. And yet, when pushed against LSU, they still hung 86, even without Isaiah Livers. Seminoles come in 13th in three-point shooting percentage and top 60 in two-point shots, which tells me that we're going to see two elite offensive teams in this one. Near proximity shooting percentage for dunks, lay-ins, things like that. Michigan is 12th in this metric. Florida State is 14th. That's how evenly matched this game is. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to take points, and I'll take Florida State to cover.
I'm going to go the other way. I know that the Big Ten, let's face it, has been an absolute train wreck throughout this tournament, but it only takes one team, and that team is Michigan. They will represent here. You look at Florida State. I mean, they got through UNC, Greensboro, and Colorado to get to this point. They're facing a real team here in Michigan. Even with the injury, they've been very deep, got some good bench play as well from Brown last game, scoring over 20 points. So I think that the end of the road here for the Seminoles, I'm going Michigan.
Riding that one seed. All right, let's take a look here at the top seed still remaining in the Midwest region and get your thoughts here, Dave. That's the number 2 seeded Houston Cougars, who escaped with a 3-point win against Rutgers in their last game. They're facing one of the Cinderellas left in the field here, 11th seeded Syracuse. I actually really love Boeheim and his story here. Dave, Syracuse upset number 3 seed West Virginia. Team Boeheim here getting 6. Which do you like in this matchup?
We're going Buddy. I mean, we see it every single tournament. There is a hot shooting guard that will carry a team very deep. That player this year is Buddy Boeheim, and that team is Syracuse. And they've been a winner, covering, actually, in 6 straight games. I think we make that 7 here. I know Houston relies very heavily, Pony, on their defense, but I don't think they're going to have the recipe to stop Buddy Boeheim. And the Orange, Syracuse wins this one 78-72.
Well, my heart says Syracuse, but they don't put me on this program to put on my, orange mascot suit. I got to be objective because I want to make our viewers money. And that's why I'm going to take Houston in this game. You touched on it, Dave. 3 straight games, Houston, the American Championship game and then the tournament, 60 points or fewer for the opposition. And I love Buddy Boeheim. Props to Jim for fathering a child in his 50s who can really stroke it, can shoot the basketball. But I just don't think it can keep going. I mean, Syracuse has shot over 50% from not only 2-point range, but threes in this tournament. And here comes the best defensive opposition they've seen all year. Well, maybe short of Virginia in the ACC. So I think the Cinderella story ends here. Give me the Cougars.
I hope for the sake of my bracket that you are right, Pony. All right, let's take a look at some of the top seeds remaining here in the Big Dance. What you need to do now is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and bet those games. We already covered all those top seeds. New users, FanDuel is offering a 30-1 odds boost if you bet on any of the 16 teams still left in the tournament. That means a max bet of $5 wins you $150. Just make your first deposit to unlock those odds. Plus, sign up for a new account using the promo code. We leave it right there on your screen. This whole show, More Ways 1000. You're going to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Again, right there on the bottom of your screen, More Ways 1000. Make sure to take advantage of these special offers right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. And we continue on here on More Ways to Win. And of course, the story of this tournament, Pony mentioned it earlier, has been upsets. So if you're a plus money player, then this big dance has meant a big payout for you. Question now, will there be more underdog upsets in the round of 16? It's our job to tell you that. Dave, take us to the money line here. Give me an underdog that's going to win outright here in the Sweet 16.
Well, my bracket's been so trash, Lisa, that let's just make it official right now. I mean, it's just been absolute garbage. So there goes my bracket. It doesn't matter how many more upsets I pick. It's done. I'm going to get finished like 500th out of 500. I'm going Syracuse. Look, I like them with the points, but I think they are really the live underdog that can win outright. Pony, loan me your orange suit. I'll wear it.
I don't know if it'll fit you, Dave. Look, I'm going to take Florida State here. Okay, and you guys can underestimate the loss of Livers all you want, but he was their second leading scorer and leader in minutes, and I think it shows up in this game because Florida State, it's like watching a hockey game. They make full line changes. They play more bodies than anybody in the league in the tournament. They're so big, huge. So that should neutralize Dickinson and Wagner up front. I like the third straight trip to the Sweet 16 for Leonard Hamilton. I like the Seminoles.
Oral Roberts will be the first 15 seed to make the Elite Eight at plus 460. This is a rematch from a game back in December between Oral Roberts and Arkansas. Yes, the Razorbacks won, but the Golden Eagles contended. And here's what makes this scary. ORU played fantastic defense against Ohio State and Florida, limiting them to under 110 points per possession per overall. They were not making threes in those games until the end. This team comes in 18th in America in percent of shots taken from beyond the arc and 19th in three-point shooting percentage. So if the defense stays good and the threes start to fall throughout the entire game, Oral Roberts is winning this game.
Look at that. Some great picks and odds there for sure. Of course, finding that underdog to back is a ton of fun. And we have some special guests in our FanDuel family that really wanted to get in on all of that action and give us their Moneyline Moneymaker picks. So welcome, Aaron, Kate, Dolan. You're starting us off. Who you got here in the Sweet 16?
For my best bet of the Sweet 16, I'm going with the Oregon Ducks over USC. You know I had to go with the dog, baby. The Ducks are 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games as an underdog and 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. Meanwhile, for USC, they're 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 Sunday games. And while on paper, USC has looked impressive up until now, especially with the Mobley brothers and USC even beating the Ducks by 14 back on February 22nd. But Oregon's offense was hot when they took out number 2 Iowa, and I think Oregon will upset the Trojans as dogs in this Pac-12 matchup.
My best bet for the Sweet 16 is the Oregon State Beavers catching 6.5 versus Loyola Chicago. Yes, Loyola Chicago just played probably their best game ever, beating Illinois. However, the Beavers have gone 4-0 straight up as dogs in their last 4 games, and I think they can cover the 6.5 here and maybe even win outright.
I got to tell you, I don't think any of these are upsets. UCLA, Creighton, Oregon, they're all going down. Florida State beating Michigan is not an upset of 4-1. And then on Saturday, I think Baylor rolls, Loyola wins, Arkansas wins. The only upset I see at all, Juice is going to knock off Houston with the 2-3 zone. Check out.
My favorite upset going into the Sweet 16, the 4 seed Florida State upsetting the 1 seed Michigan. Michigan just allowed 42 first-half points to LSU. Now the Wolverines are going up against the 6th best first-half team in the country in the Seminoles. Nonetheless, the Seminoles got better in their round of 32 game in the second half. In the last 20 minutes of their game against Colorado, Florida State scored 47 points. I think the Seminoles hang in there. I think the Seminoles pull the upset. Good luck to your bets.
Maybe Scott can borrow that orange suit from Pony as well. Great stuff, fam. Now for all of you at home, head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now. You're going to find the underdog that you think can pull off the upset, or hey, use one of our experts' picks right there. Each day you place a bet on the tournament, you are getting a chance to win $1 million. All you have to do is bet. FanDuel is giving away that cash to new and existing users. You'll get an additional shot at the payout every single day you place a bet. Let's move on here on more ways to win and hand out some hardware, well-earned as well. This is our last week's FanDuel winner. Sports Grid's Jared Smith had $100 virtual dollars to bet on 1 spread, 1 money line, and 1 total in the first round. Check it out. He hit his $55 spread bet on Oregon State Also a $35 moneyline wager on Loyola Chicago. Also my dog. I see you, Jared. Jared rolled up $65 in profit on those bets. So we're bringing Jared back to defend his FanDuel title. Jared, same drill. You have $100 virtual dollars for a spread, moneyline, and total bet for the Sweet 16 games. Show us what you got.
All right, my best bets for the Sweet 16. We're going to start with a $40 spread wager on Arkansas as a big favorite over Oral Roberts. The Cinderella Eagles are finally going to meet their match against a very well-coached Razorbacks team with Eric Musselman at the helm. This team likes to play defense, and they're going to grind this one out over Oral Roberts and cover the number. $30 moneyline bet on USC as a short favorite over Oregon. The Trojans have already beaten the Ducks pretty handily this season, and that was without Isaiah Mobley in the lineup. Andy Enfield, 9-0 against the number as a head coach in the NCAA tournament. I think he makes it 10-0. Our final bet, a total $30 on the first half over between Gonzaga and Creighton. This hit easily for the Zags matchup against Oklahoma, and Gonzaga leads the nation in first half scoring over 45 points per game. Creighton no slouch either, 33rd in first half scoring at 37.1 points per game.
I like where he's going with that stuff. That's the business right there, Jared. Great stuff, guys. Dave, Pony, Ed, let's see who you're betting. Same drill here. $100 virtual dollars. I need a spread, a money line, and a total bet from each of you. And Dave, you're kicking us off here. You first. What you got?
Well, I'm with Jared with USC. Now, he took them on the money line. I'm going to just lay the 2.5 points. Oregon hadn't played in 10 days. They were fresh, and you could see it. They were great against Iowa. I don't think that's happening here against USC. So give me USC, $30 on the spread. As far as the money line, I'm going to go back to my orange mascot suit that I'll be wearing. I'm going to get one, Pony. I'll find one online, and I'll wear it during this game, and they're going to beat Houston. $40 on the money line, plus 215. My total is a game that a lot of people are playing the under. It opened at 130. It's now down to, I believe, 125. Loyola Chicago and Oregon State. This game is going over. It's not going to take that much to get there, too. That's a low total. Give me $30 on the over at 125. Oregon State's gone over 6 of their last 7.
I'm going to start with a $50 spread wager on Loyola Chicago. They've won 5 straight games by double digits. Best defensive team by the metrics in America. The best defensive team Oregon State saw all year was Colorado, and they're 24th in the nation, so a big step up in class. Give me the Ramblers. Money line play, I'm going to go back here to USC on this one. To me, Isaiah Mobley has been such a revelation. Evan Mobley's brother in this tournament. He's averaging 17 points a game. I'm going to take the Trojans, who won the regular season matchup between these two teams. $25 wager there. My last $25 bet is on the under in Houston-Syracuse. I like the Cougars to win. Their formula to win is by stopping Syracuse's hot shooting.
The Edwardian approach is not just about putting a ton of money on one of these 3 bets. It's also opportunities to make fun of Dave Weaver, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Great shooter can beat the 2-3 zone. Houston has a few, notably Quentin Grimes. $98 on the Houston Cougars to cover against Syracuse. $1 money line for maximum volatility. I'm taking Oral Roberts to take care of business against Arkansas. And my last dollar goes to the under. 125.5 between Oregon State and Loyola Chicago. Ramblers have the 351st pace of play, 3rd slowest in America. They're going to grind this one out.
$1, Bob. Thank you, Ed. All right, great stuff, guys. Now head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app to tail our guys. Or, hey, just make your own picks. Do your own thing. And a reminder, new users can unlock a 30-1 odds boost just by making your first deposit. Then place a $5 max bet on any of the 16 teams remaining. A winning bet gets $150. Not too shabby. All right, time now to dance in those glass slippers, ladies and gentlemen. 2021 is the year for it. And now is the time to bet those Cinderella teams. So let's get to the lowest remaining team in the tournament. Back to the South region we go. You see right here, Oral Roberts, just the second 15 seed to make the Sweet 16. They've beaten a 2 seed, a 7 seed. Now they take on 3rd seeded Arkansas. Pony and Ed, this game is for you. Oral Roberts getting 11.5 points here. Pony, do you like Oral Roberts in this spot?
Oh, I absolutely do. The thing that has impressed me the most about this team is there's no intimidation factor. they're not playing like an underdog, and they've already seen Arkansas this year, so I don't expect them to all of a sudden get the jitters in this contest. Oral Roberts is a modern-day basketball team. They make a ton of threes, and they're the best free throw shooting team in the tournament. They were one of the best free throw shooting teams of all time at over 80%. So I think they keep it close. Give me Oral Roberts.
And one thing to piggyback off of that, Pony, is that they're not just the greatest free throw shooting team, but they have the greatest free throw rate, which means they're getting calls, getting to the line, and then sinking those free throws. And so I think foul trouble could be a real issue for Arkansas in this game. And I get that Oral Roberts is undersized. That's why Arkansas won the first matchup. But defensively, they have improved a lot, notably in forcing turnovers. Dozen steals, part of a 20-turnover night against the Gators. They were average in that department against the Summit League, but they're getting better and better. And so overall, Oral Roberts can win this game beyond the arc and at the free throw line. It should be a good one.
All right, great job, guys. In the Midwest, as we shift over, we have an 8-12 matchup that's getting a lot of attention. You heard Megan Nunez just talk about them. Oregon State, a 12 seed coming off a win against that 4th seeded team in Oklahoma State. They now take on 8 seed Loyola Chicago, who took out the number 1 seed Illinois, which simultaneously ruined millions and millions of brackets, guys. Loyola is giving 6.5 here in this matchup. Ed, going right back to you, which side do you like here?
Well, the Ramblers' transition game is just incredible. Their effective field goal percentage in transition is 65.8%. That's second best in America, only behind Gonzaga. Your transition game is elite if you have a pesky defense, and turnover rate has them 35th after adjusting for strength of schedule. They also do not give up offensive rebounds. Senior Cameron Krutwig, one of the better defensive ratings going per Bart Torvik. Pace of play is really slow, which is always a concern, but it's also a novelty if you're not used to it. I think it's going to be way too much for Oregon State to prep for. Give me the Ramblers.
This is a familiar spot for Oregon State, getting points. Since postseason play began back in the Pac-12 tournament, they've been an underdog 5 times. They won all 5 games, and not only are they just squeaking by, they're winning by double digits. They've won by an average of 8.2 points in those 5 games. So the flat-out reality is this is a team that just gets no respect, no love on the line. They're used to being an underdog, and I think they're going to cover again. I'll take Oregon State.
All right, guys, let's get to the East now, where 11th seeded UCLA had to start its tournament in the first 4. So they have come through, ripped off 3 wins to get to the Sweet 16, where they now face 2nd seeded Alabama. Dave, the Bruins are getting 6.5 points in this matchup. Which side do you like here?
Not enough points. I like Alabama. It's over, I think, here for UCLA. The great thing about Alabama, they can win 110-80, or they can win 65-55. They can do it both ways, but Petty and Shackelford, it's going to be too much for UCLA to handle.
Dave, I'm disappointed we don't have Ed on this game, because Alabama, they're all about analytics. He's looking at Box Pro and Ken Pom and those things, Nate Oates. They only do 3 things: 3-point shots, layups, and free throws. They're 2nd in America in percentage of points off of threes. UCLA hasn't seen a team like this in the Pac-12 all year. I think Alabama rolls.
Great stuff, guys. Now to a fun and unique tournament contest sponsored by Amazon Prime Video's Without Remorse. Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan, premieres on Amazon Prime Video on April 30th. More on that coming up in just a moment. But first, here are the details for the Survive and Advance contest presented by Amazon Prime Video's Without Remorse. Just log on to FanDuel.com/Without Remorse. Sign up for free and then pick any 4 teams in the Sweet 16 to fill out your roster. You'll designate one team to be your championship team. The points that are earned by that team will be multiplied by 1.5. Your team earns points by winning games. You see the points awarded on your screen here. Each Sweet 16 win gets 1 point. An Elite 8 win gets 2 points. A Final 4 win earns you 4 points. And having the championship team on your roster will get you 8 points. There's $100,000 in cash and prizes, and the person with the most points will get $20,000. This is going to be a lot of fun. So let's see what 4 teams our betting experts are going to draft for their rosters. Hey guys, welcome back in here. Dave, who are you picking for your contest roster?
Well, I want to get that 1.5 times the points on Gonzaga, so I'm not going to get crazy there and try to pull off an upset. So they're going to be my champion. Now, the team that I am getting a little bit crazy with would be Syracuse. I think that could be the separator. And I'm going to pick a team in each region. That way I give myself the chance to get the maximum points in the semifinals. So it's going to be Gonzaga, Baylor, and Michigan, the 1 seeds, but Syracuse is my key.
Well, I wanted to put together a group of Gonzaga slayers. Okay, they average more than 90 points a game. Every game has been a double-digit win, but one this year. So I got to go with defensive teams, and that's why I've got Baylor winning it, Houston, which was second in America in scoring defense, and Florida State, so long and athletic. Those are my top 4 picks.
We're at the point where Gonzaga is almost minus money to win the national championship, so they're going to be my champion here. After that, to ensure points, I'm taking 3 teams from the same quadrant on the other side of the page. One I think will get to the championship game, and 2 others in case there's some massive upsets where I'm getting points no one else does. And so Baylor, Arkansas, and Oral Roberts. If the Golden Eagles pull it off, I'm getting points almost no one else does.
There you have it. Tail our guys or draft your own teams. Have fun and play for free. Log on right now to FanDuel.com/without remorse to sign up for the Survive and Advance contest presented by Amazon Prime Video's Without Remorse. Pick your teams before the Sweet 16 games tip off. You can have up to 5 entries. And remember, there's $100,000 in cash and prizes you can win. And make sure to check out Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan on Amazon Prime Videos. Coming up, its release date coming up on April 30th. It's Tom Clancy's origin story of a U.S. Navy SEAL who uncovers an international conspiracy while seeking justice for the murder of his pregnant wife. I want to show you a sneak peek of the movie.
Senior Chief Kelly is the 3rd member to be attacked. 3 perps are dead. Also killed was his wife.
They better hope he doesn't survive.
Why's that?
He is more dangerous and effective than any man we have in the field.
Give me a name. He was supposed to be dead. Give me a name.
Wow, truly a heavy and gripping story there. Without Remorse is set to be released again April 30th on Amazon Prime Video. And be sure to sign up for the Survive and Advance contest presented by Amazon Prime Video right now on FanDuel.com/without remorse. Want to bring our team back in here, guys. The Sweet 16 is set to tip off this weekend. I have to get your picks on which game you are most excited to see go down. Dave, I'm going to start with you. Which game are you most excited to sit on the couch and watch?
All right, you know I'm all about Syracuse, but that's not the funnest game to me. Oral Roberts and Arkansas, I think, is going to be the game where we're going to see a ton of scoring. That'll be the most back-and-forth game to me.
I'm going to say USC Oregon. It was very nice of you guys to not make me pick that game because to me it's the hardest to handicap. And I think the best player left in the tournament is Evan Mobley at USC, who won the Defensive Player, Freshman of the Year, and Player of the Year awards in the Pac-12.
The game I'm looking most forward to is the one where Dave Weaver is wearing an orange suit a la Dumb and Dumber. That's going to be exciting.
Yes. The cane and all. All right, you guys, that is a wrap for us. For Dave, Coney, and Ed, I'm Lisa Kerney. Thanks for hanging with us here on FanDuel Sportsbook's More Ways to Win. Enjoy the Sweet 16. We'll see you right back here next week.